Ewe abusuafo da mo asese monya bra twen ya me adan ye ho akwaba na afi ye de ye mpunimpu ene Friday nti ne Ghana nkomoni ho na mom ye bebo mpunimpu na ansakra no ma menyi sa birthday ba kom ye nu mfi ho na afi ye nkoye nimti happy birthday enkoma Matilda Matilda Aporiga Techiman PPAG William N. Theodora and Emma happy birthday and happy birthday in advance Minya Bema Mickey darling say yemfa Emma eno yede Emma Richard Papa Kwansa ejuada ubediwa woda ejuada ubenya emfie enai efiu mame ene papa ho nti Emma happy birthday me classmate kama pa obo nwom ne nso edenya me adoma wo chena ye enura ya ne ho ade chena ye aifrope enti wutiri nkwa obransima araba usla ono or class oka esla osi no mine is a German name it's usla enti obra samabodi ni ye obransima araba usla one Brian Kofo nyame adomwa ochena ewo Calvary Baptist Church at Dentas Net Flat ena asori no ekoso ho Jack yinina ye bebawati yentimi monyo mbati betumi de presence ababe taiwechi enti congratulations to you Obransima Araba Usla. May that tribe said as sister was see meeting ho amame na tribe said was painters bachuna enti enyi bia ope na onso ebe ma woluki fly no na wa contact wo mo obeye bia ma kama ehia sa obekọ ho wo dada bi so a wo de koma na obesiesie ama kama pa na onso wo de etwa life hu sa friend 020 09959993 020 095933 and now 05537404444 for no miensa kuyaskis enso enene watwa me green ene akokosrade anamusi green nso menka nutwa haba amono ene akokosrade entuma ne din ne de menhyeda mpe but style ne ye mefe afi bi esan afi bia no ye san ma me bia afi mesere nko a but style ne ye fe enti style bia ope bia on said you ekekesi anyway so nya red bi to kum ha senka ana red ne be ba se ne red gold green ka ya Ghana me na me ko enti me kamfo kuyaskis ama on so opam corporate wear opam dada de opam my fraud de would your traditional marriage ni nyina kuyaskis sa no efe said the ayo fa wo kamfo me wo so kwa obepam na efe sama or ACP State Junction with me a friend 020-836-4729 020-836-4729 me da kuyaskis ase enne ye be bonkomo na nkomo aye be boyi ye be bonkomo se Ghana nkwada efiri mfie dumienu ekosi mfie dunso Child Rights International say mantam dunsia ni nyina mu wokọ ho hifa potin pan wokọ ye enra ne ye prince ana ne na se di sa nkomo no se ukọ epo bi mu a ebia enipa oyo de for ho ana se nipa wabobra kọ nanim no woton farm milk opia bicycle nti akwada no bisan se da atwunyi a obeyede osi mepese meton sa ade ni bi meso metwi bicycle na me ye pimpo chesa akwada no oni ani so ade bi a de wo hu no de akwada hu ne ho ena ni susue nso epim edru nanso Ghana akwada no omo ni omo kasa ye ne die emu be so omo chemu aduokono ni akire se eyi wo mo dese omo ye Ghana fo na baby anti ase ne se emu dese mo ye Ghana fo na mo ntena mo se da bi ye hwese de Ghana city na emfinhia aduonu ntemu no se fisa be akosi 2014 ne de ye betu kwan ye bekọ abrochire se de ho ye kwa ye benya school akọ school papa de sua wonsem be kama asetena mu so betimi apagya na ye nya sika ma ne fie na mo so na nka mo be chichire o man ya maye adenti na mo ko mo se corruption kakra wo ha ye hwa ye hu se corruption wo ti mo betimi abe fight ama mo se ebeyi corruption ne de ye se ye mpekra enkwada nyina hu se sa enye de ye ka ne nkwa na wo mo anso di hu adanse enti ene ye ne child right for bompunimpu ya doso sa research ya wonum eye emu Ghana through the lens of children beautiful me pe eyi no pa heading no Ghana through the lens of children ti na anope say ye de mamre we mada de ye betina ye sin ya bemu abu ya paba na nkwada no nso sen na omusi ehunu efa present and the next 20 years. A survey report by Child Rights International. Into Ora Bright Appiah, or your executive director, Emma Child Rights International, or Waha Yenino Ebabi. Disa research ya, omuya na watch munino, and Nantiano, Yedimun Comonafi, and Quadana Nui, woman pecuario, Quadana Quiayon so dear, woman pecra, a dear intina Quadano, womani any quiayo. Akuayo enye wo mo akonoi ni nyina ye bedi eho enkomo enti Appiah ye hia biemu o akwaba adwuma mu ti sen nyame adom na wo so e wo adom me nso me ho ye pa research dey musi mo hya last year March right and na mu wie this year April enti afe enkwada do sen na mo ne o mo kasa
ne nkora 11,288 na ekasa na ye nyomo kasa fi all the 16 regions no
okay but 16 regions no districts ben kro ben so sa
the way I hear no we pick ye use census data no and ye the year calculation
2010 census data
and 2017 there no
2017 did we do a census
statistical service here a small a
survey they prepare by you
exactly into usually no ye extrapolate the same figures no so each the region based on their population no and you determine the number of inquiry interview to meet the same research requirement no
okay
and we exceeded it by 113%. Respondent na no we exceeded it by 113% because initially nank per 10,000 but we exceeded we were able to do up to 11,000
mo sha pe census no kwalado do yes saying na na
no from below 18 years 19 years is 48% of the national population.
Okay.
And you use 48 in your calculation. No?
Okay.
But younger your target no was between 12 and 17. Almost so population.
12 and 17 years.
12 and 17 years.
Okay.
In that category, no can just say your interview and Colorado Duana, you can even watch their thinking pattern. No? Because we share even research now we looked at the rural and then the urban divide. But we have some of the responses now it doesn't really reflect say because of a particular environment now we need to know you give this particular response.
It's Mr. Wachine no so.
The me patch say you use and corona say bio omu fi bia they describe it as deprived. Me no dey have make no twimo. Any baby a say bio ya ga so mudi
omu fi na busun emuye.
Ebusun emuye ni baby a enye.
Okay.
But do hwe emuye no mo de ba na je say ni nyina bobra. Na je say
so me say bisa say in Kola 11,000 Ghana 16 regions specifically no
almost all the districts. So for instance Appiah East you call district ni nyina because omo aye ni omo use the data collection no? They have offices in all the regions no. And so we divided it based on the population of the district. So it cut across Ashanti region
district capital and so omo nkura say
oh, more because I researched it, I've definitely, I'm sure that most of the data was collected at the district level, and any day we know. Kumasi Metropolis say PK, but one of the key things I usually say you divide in Kwado don't Muko school no, and I almost I say be Muko school to be able to measure their thinking patterns and all that, but. And also the difference answer them
because district capital no cry there enye but district capital there na e hoye kakra hoye omo akra nti se wotina ho nso na wo ya e bia wunya akwala ono so wo kra bia se pa de onante nkwanti ni bebre na otware nso ansa na wako school na nti covid ba ye kra o si school no kra minya nko bia bi mu ko e omo tenfie mu ko teachers na kra ni ho no
be as child right. Yes, you collected data. Na about 1,080 deprived communities, in the cocoa green communities. And clearly, no.
Tano,
Yeah.
Western North.
Western North, Ashanti region, PA,
Okay.
Eastern region.
Okay.
We collected data and you know that reflection war. But the
right.
good news I na me pese million emphasis on is that's why I say binumo krase, e binumo krum, e binumo krokese mu no. O share response no mama na you know.
Manu ye no ya de kro.
Exactly. Eno na ya na.
The krom ni no anu ye ode ma ye no.
Exactly.
Eno na se be krase no.
Exactly. Say for instance, I share agriculture say you share that divided into the coastal areas and then the forest belt.
Okay.
But Osha Nyomunya Kana is almost the same. But ne expect this will be a work a full trial who is shared there. And the response now be man a bit different from Obi or Coastal Belt.
Okay.
But Osha, it is the same response that they are giving.
Okay, so method ben we see
yeah, you do the stratified random selection no any the NTBA Yakobia we count a number of Ankara. We then will be able to select one person. Then
Moko school one na say mo pick your marks random
yeah, we use all kinds of methods just because of say you gauge the atmosphere of Enkorano to be able to get it. And ebi oho you go school mo ebi nso oho Enkorano you show more market ebi nso oho ebia yasoma no any day interview no. And as we be graduate we fee then we go and seek the permission of the parent almost any form na interview in Korano. So as much as possible, now I wanted to capture.
Oh yes. Permission,
no, definitely. No, we say consent. And no, that's why I take the age between 12 and 17 because it'll be already below 12. Consent and sometimes when I say I will follow them consent, no. But it'll be already 12 to 17 years a year. At least the makeup, no, it can give consent to. Definitely, we cannot force. Oh, definitely. But in Korean, be or and who say I'm not if Akora can express their own opinion, they should also be given the opportunity. And once Akora accepts or by any day, we take the child through the protocols before I be interview.
Into questions, Ben, sir, since na mu put questions, questions Ben na mu biti omo na mu put in it.
Questions need a be mrofo kind of open-ended and close. Just because we wanted them to have their own opinion. And Appiah, say, Appiah, we wanted to find certain corrupt acts. We reduced the question, to the level of Enkorano. Not to say, Appiah, list the number of institutions of which they are corrupt. No, that's not the kind of things. We share a Nyama response to Enkorano about corruption. It's almost about Nyama overpricing of goods and services. Omo area ebi obeko market
okay
it's ebi na okwa price na odebeto ade no the following day the mama service man so obeko na assessor and omo no to them no that is a corrupt act ebi nso oho a say ebi a okọ ne mama ne baba be fi efie so omo call political rally and say meeting bi ebi a ne mama beko na say papa beko no nkrahwe but oba no ebi a no kra motorbike torchlight warranting boot in so they ask themselves a lot of questions. They see by how did you get all these things? It's a Sunday market kitchen and I be and they were able to say.
Uncle Anu response with
Emma response.
It would have been a fascinating assignment, but specific question any do on phone.
Ma'am far questionnaire and but I think the full report attach a questionnaire.
Okay,
but I know we a summary of but the full report now. I ube questionnaire no.
Oh, I would have loved to see some of the questions. Said the questionnaire in city. How many questions na mo put here?
It's almost about 50 questions or so. It's almost getting to. I'm not a emo, but
50 questions per child.
Yes, we take
fatigue go.
But there is a way that we go about it. So sometimes we presume how to engage them. Yes, because sometimes you can go and interview a they stop engage the Quran in the other activities and then or resume back and then they continue the question. No, collecting data. No, we really train them to be able to do that because we know anything they take here that long period to be able to cover, almost a year to be able to do this. Because we wanted to make sure we get the children to answer the questions.
I wish Senka some of the questions now.
The
way I watch no. And they said, yeah, and Colano ebe ready now.
So and then ye bisa, for instance, ebia me bisa say opa agriculture and as on agriculture. There's a way that I'll put it to you. And yes, ebia akran the fill form to know. Yina the coin digitized a questionnaire into can na ya enter akrano can ya enter ye hwen omo bet me reading we show it to you. Is that exactly what you want to say? Almost say then they will click the button, not just a data number about maybe I say analyzing on.
Oh, I see.
So we use a very robust system in doing this data collection.
I'm just hoping Kalbe Kai question maybe. I agree with that. Upe kuyayo, and I will need you kuyayo ho, and I will need our person we kuya, and I who kuyayo saying. How was
no, I think the opening question was what is the understanding of inquiry about agriculture?
Okay.
And the akwara no be man definition. Then ohon yehu ehokra ohwe report mo yehu say agriculture nankasa no in the minds of inquiry no we have reduced it to farming. Into a lot of children were defining agriculture in that context.
As farming.
As farming.
Okay.
But we have forgotten say agriculture is a supply chain. Indeed, there are certain components be or wha yeah exposure and children quarantine. They feel agriculture is farming, they don't see it as attractive. Well, and also yeah, one of the areas are a bit to me about then ansana ye may be sano reasons into office abia or ope so call yes ejumana na person we and now ebia person we are fine denti and our person yes ejuma person we yes so they contributed to at the country and person yes ejuma then we elicit those views from them.
Okay.
Yes.
So much mu denti omo person omo be ya
ebinum say it's not attractive. And ebinum so say bi omuko school no so mo ye bone a ye mo kodo intino they see agriculture as a punishment. You know intino and ebinum so say bi obeko school na ne papa say ombe senko afum enti ye ne say school me go school everybody is going to every child is going to school but me there me go afum so they have developed some kind of attitude towards farming and they have reduced it to like farming, you know, that's farming, what they call as agriculture. Okay. And clearly, you know, there's also opportunity for us to say, "Yebeman koranate," what agriculture is.
Na school munki ye chere wo mo. Achase for ekura say basic E4 or upper primary kono. At least you learn a Greek.
Yes.
It is
this our educational system is providing that kind of because most of the definitions now are not manual. You could see it is coming from a certain angle. And yes,
okay, to say farming, no. Coastal bet and almost defining agree said
that is why
say farming
oh yes even more croquet that is how they define agriculture. You know, so it's for me, you know, it sends a signal say even as of mine, you know, we have to begin to open the minds of Yankora to all the opportunities that exist in agricultural activities. Okay. Because now no their mindset na yes okazi will be agriculture more. I just I don't know
order.
Exactly.
Yeah, here back akra omo benyi no mbeba no. Kombe de pa omo mani emeji kua yo ho. Na nya bi omo yi ano so say bi omo hu say omo parents omo ayekua no.
Oh yes, yes. I don't know more can say it's unattractive. And I'm summing up saying it's not attractive. No one. It's not attractive. No more reason say bia enkrofo a omo do afu no. Omo hu say they don't get incentives. And I say bi omo hu kwani bia sebe wayi anase you know na brabo akuya Appiah man
nkwala ne kan we nyina
as you see this research has opened my mind to a lot of things because at the point maybe I dream say enkora no omundwen anase omuntimi kan sembi
oh yeah
but me year research ni we na me say no Ghanaian children think very deep but as I say you build that kind of attitude around that akora obey vocal bia no or akora boni and say na ni atene na ni odin dodo ntino eya normal can be bia she but because of sanema amama who say yankora no if you engage them rightly or make me a solution to some of our problems
the ma headlines are e de nkomodie nyina ba ye se nkwala no be say over 90% say ye desi ye Ghana for okay any say nka mo betina ha enso mu we am say enso 55% say hwe ye de ye be free Ghana ni akopa adwuma ni akọ school ni akọ better your lives answer the other question am bi say omo e ma omo de sa e ma munya sa we insunsanso we say nkwala no 93% say ye de say Ghana for then so 55% say ye de be free Ghana
ye bisa nkwara no on the national pride say omo ogidie ana say omo hu omo so omo ye Ghana for ana and dodo na ka say omo ogidie wo man nim like omo gidi say omo man ni oman ni aboama omo
okay
na 55% no omo ka say omo ebetu kwan no most of the opportunities are here so omo ogidie wo man mu ha mo pese mo ye adwuma wa ha mo pese mo ko school wa ha and this particular question no is linked to educational system and job creation
okay
enti enomo na omo hwe ne ebisa no so dodo 55% ka say so munye kwan a omo betu kwan ene ebisa say mutu kwan a denti na mpese mo de betu kwan na omo list greener pasture as first
okay
and omo ba education education in greener pasture no the difference in share that and no so and ebinum so ka say better standard of living but what analysis no omo kan better standard of living no they are from a certain class sebi omo efie share that enye bibi ni fie papa omo no pese omo ye but omo so a omo pese they want to go and seek for greener pasture to me say do na are coming from the elite class no
onu afie ye na
afie no kra no onu kra person
okọ sanko pe na pasture
exactly and na omo ho ne ho no omo are those is in kra bi ho they know what they want to do in life and you know onu fi say baby obekọ akọ sa abrabo na besi ni ye no ho no obekọ nti sankora no so do na ka say ompeso omuko school abrochire
so na did they indicate say omuko na ye ombese aba
eno de dodo na ha ka say omuko na ye mama omumma omumma
omina they are proud
of it so
omude na omude wa omu say ma wani ni say ufriga na wani say Ghana ni ba omaya de na ve samu kwa na ka ye pese ti say omu si omu be ko omu kosun ade na omu asen aba na omu aba beboa na ve omu ko omu ma
they didn't give that impression because in looking at the future of Oman Kasambra Bono, they were also uncertain as to whether what they want to become no system no can give it to them. And you know they cited issues of job creation or share report yeah
okay
they be so if today obi beye nyama dodo say no mo fi say Oman here and they listed it accordingly or share report no more and I be so say ne unya kwan benya leadership position and what do you want to change o share no ne omo list as the top priority problems of Ghana na ni nyina ebobra ese
omo si omo nya kwan be yempanyimfo a nka omo be pese omo be 71% 42% omo be kwatia corruption and 37% so omo be hwese adesua ho nsem no omo be pagya pa
if you are able to convince the Ankoran with policies and our agenda.
Okay. Enu na nka me hwehwe top priority no na media ka ho.
Social problems na analyst
Before I beba social problems no me hu bibi wa hanum say ya eye me eyi kakra. Che say enkwala yi 93% say eye desi eye Ghana for. 55% say oh but ye nyankwanya ye bekọ abrochiri na yakọ akọbọbra mu besin aba mu nsimu nsan ma ye de no kra to kwa aden na 80% so abase omo ye optimistic omo wo gidie wo Ghana mu say the next 20 years ebe enti eho no eden ne basa enkwala no omo say 93% say de okay enti enkwala ni na say de say Ghana for fine ebi aye ne den so niam bi ikoso wo mu a ompe enti o si o mekọ no makobobra na akiri masen aba enso wanka se obesen aba endi omo si omo nsan ma yo yate so omo nsan ma any problem. Na the mintias any say adia omo gidie wo mu say oh in the next 20 years eniema beye yen adenti no mu say omu nyakwanya omo beko.
Eno na me gidi say etimi capitalize on that because bi niema bi to ya enkwara no they will live in this country and give their productive years.
But you sure the results na munya aye no?
Oh yes, there's OSHA full report now. There are reasons.
Because if they are optimistic, then they wouldn't want to leave.
No, you see, you can be optimistic about BBC Ebeye.
Okay.
But the assurance is that Sanyamana Wufi say we are the 200 and why optimistic about the country no. Because the last time so Obi one of the TV stations they interview Akora and Obi say okay. Unya so be to come say I dainty or say or jidi say or onya onye juma mamu hanye e bi answer dey so ne brother kura wi school
onye juma
on TV na how much more mezo into onya obetu kwan you get
and beautiful then I say no adenti no beka say na nso me wani that so and we are looking at 20 years
exactly
ntinka me now was expecting some beka say oh but me wani that so say be enti in 20 years time na na ma ansesa
that is
then leaving and not coming back again
you know so enyama na ebesesa no enyama na nkora na ka say si etimi de to ho they are very optimistic say enyama be in the next 20 years.
Okay, so enyama be in the next 20 years. If you to me manuma ba, if you to me kutia corruption, if you to me peja adisiamu.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And
so follow up question. Emma,
exactly. Emma.
Ye yono. Okay.
What you say. So the and one of the things that you take advantage of is Gidi ankora no wo mamu ase ye niam yi a o man no bechina
Okay.
Na o hwe nkora do do say interview mo no di 12 to 17. In the next 20 years no, when di kra no, obedi 32 years.
Yes.
And just imagine say that is the period that the productivity levels of some microphone be high. And if 55% of them be so move your memu ha. Omana boka because investments are social interventions. Social interventions are here now no. Almost government social interventions, about 80% of it targeted almost below the age of 18 years.
Okay.
Enti share the kind of investment almost year woman. Now at the end of the day, some Korean not just say the investment now are buying a yes no. The government is doing it for another country. Enti clearly no who be here say and Yamana and Korana let's say as a top priorities no. Let's interrogate it further and see say there ni ebit me and as agenda be ni ebit me nya ni set it in motion so that in the next 20 years no ye be do pempe so bia enkra no be or gidie no omo be nya wo man mu no na CP.
I see. Na enkwala yi omo hu so ye manika kakra nti omo si yedi political nkomo no a ya omo ti bi wo
omo te pa one of the exactly. Almost limiting the powers of the politicians because OSHA full report almost say politicians be almost abuse powers no more. What is the reason?
Almost say, for example,
funny now almost break traffic rules. They break traffic rules. That is the reason so you could see it's a daily experience omunya. OSHA corruption say ebinum ka say omo ti trotrom no mo kwa police for every driver no my dey omo twa bia na so omo ne papa no ethical mu a na police for echo papa no omo demand something. They are seeing the things that
no man ka say ne papa esi for man no afes ka no ko.
Yeah,
you are police won't demand, but
exactly.
Say
so
papa first, but
exactly.
Or say be obey implicating the papa so me papa
exactly. No crepa. And to share that attitude between corruption and religion, the response to Nkrana is the same. We share religion say majority of Nkrana can say the religion is very, very important. About 81% of Nkrana can say religion is very, very important.
Okay.
But 73% of Nkrano parties say their religious beliefs is not affiliated to the belief of their parents. It is their personal faith.
Wow.
The reason being that and nyama omoko sorry ya chire wo no. So mo be fie nya no mu hu say omo mame no papa no omo live. to be ne papa and as no man beti me if you sorry them abana the neighborhood no didn't crofat them and as obi baba if you know or baby no ne mame eko these are life experience evidence and Koranoma why they think say whether you belong to a particular set of religion.
Were they specific about say religion na say denomination no?
No religion. They purely based on religion, not maybe as a Christian. And yes, maybe I call Catholic and I say you call Pentecost and I say no. Muslim. No. We don't. We didn't.
Catholicism me so inti me say my just me charismatism be ma kodo.
No,
but say you more can na say so you Muslim a me hu me.
Oh, a Muslim na bra born and them have me from no. Nyano na ebe
Christian so a
that is how it is. Onusu huni
because
and you see that is why I'm so much. 3 years ago, Mika said there's kind of a movement. Of course, we are taking it for granted. Say people are taking advantage of Sanyaman Kitinkiti to indoctrinate young Kora, especially in our secondary schools, because it's an organized environment. You know, once you get in a particular doctrine, the extent to which as that doctrine ever very fast pa na me can say look research be on some of the elite schools in this country 3 years ago and you can say the way the doctrine of lesbianism and gayism were course was so schools you know omon for money into fam no mo hwe yes empempen so be wa bedu a e be den say ye betimi asosa anyama na no but we take it for granted. These are reasons in the man Korano begin to define their own religion to a point will come the religious concept of Nkorano will be based on their behavior and how they want to live. And also the Ebanese are not just a gradual in the Eba say Europe. Eba say America. Obia de Nidiaba. Right. Exactly.
And yes, I was on inside the
no, and you know, intino. And we also know the role religion play when it comes to moral discipline. We can't take that for granted. Intino, say you make sure say that foundation you're right, and our children would understand that principle. Immediately they deviate from that principle, then we are heading towards a situation where Europe, they say, I sorry, I'm not more on the shops in the idea. If you are not careful, we will get to that level. Inti yembi yenina yentre yankorano and nyama ebitimi abwa. So, o share research kwa yebisa nkoranze and nyama be no mufi say the two akwemu ebitimi abwa ama see like personally no be a bomb. The majority of them are saying it's a hard work.
Yeah.
Hard work.
And
religion last but one. And I was alarmed by that kind of revelation.
Because Katitina Quebec say yiri ya husum nyami ya.
Exactly.
Kasana nkwala kasana ye expect so mo.
Exactly. So it means that Nkorano kwa sorry.
So fortunately
exactly.
So
children need in order to succeed in life in the next 20 years. Hard work, education qualification, individual talent, individual effort, statute and lineage. Because I know they play a very important role in our society. And Korana are saying those things because Obinze onini nuebia ko school ne papa si mesi immediately obe school no anya juma and you know no so feel say onya sa status in society it will benefit the lineage ebetimi aboa ne man na busuafo
on say we lack ne chance in if you are last one
religion and you know children are now not considering the moral framework na existing within religion as a means of living. And that is very, very dangerous. And, you know, it's not something that as a minor and as the religious bodies we should take for granted. And it's not limited to Appiah, or you're Muslim and as or you're Christian. But it's a concept that we have to standardize. Begin to define their religious concept.
Oh, great. Omade ba ko mo kan e me wanwa se nti omuhu se Ghana the system na practicing your democracy.
Yeah.
And omujitum to say freedom of speech
freedom of speech.
Because anyama mo se mo omu de so mo ye Ghana for no. Sa anyama me say
stability, democracy.
Any freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech.
Omu nyankwan ko ma wi ofia na school man na ahefa no omu tse
majority of them omu ascribe to be freedom of speech. Almost because people have access to the social media to say all manner of things and they go scot free.
almost the scot free ne kan.
Yes, almost like Obia to me, yen your power into yen can. So it is a positive thing, but it's negative in terms of their understanding of the usage of the media or the social platforms. Because if somebody said you'll be to me could radio so, and as to me could social media or man penny or to me did not term and phobia will be a leadership position, and as you penny and as I said you. Or born home one who till a year where Juma come here we interview. Sabi and you be a bit me answer. But Sabi obiti abontia as some of the can honor. But that person will go scot free into know. And crowd who say and they say obi to me channel. So what share? And crowd wanna if they want to expose themselves, they use some of these means to do that. And you know that is some of the things that the children see to be freedom of speech.
Nkwale you now e sure say nkwale omo ye nkwala because mase controversy no for her. A little over 60% of the respondents believe the country is on the right track.
Yes.
And so omadwen you almost say oman no you right track.
In terms of the economy.
In
terms of the
freedom
economy.
of speech wom.
Yeah.
Democracy ye adwuma say omo de so omo ye Ghana for. Mu wie ya 80% say oh ye die wo gidie say niam besesa say
say enyama say yesi
wa school sem etutu ye a eno mo anso asen aka say 60% enso say ye wo gidie say oman no right track na say wo right track I don't know manya perception say just ye too kwan.
Yeah, this one is more on the standard of living because in measuring the economic indicators, you use GDP, the daily.
No more betiasi.
How much and you use the daily thing that happens to them. Like they eat 3 square meals a day.
Okay.
Do they get access to social facilities? Do they get access to hospital? This and you know.
Okay.
Those are the basic things that we ask them. When it comes to the economy, some of these things are on the right track. Exactly.
Omudia fruits and vegetables come.
And also another level altogether. You know, so these are you see it reflects exactly.
Omukrom kwan to saying
area
facilities baby for social media so no.
Exactly. But you see we should be worried if only 60% are saying that.
Why should we be
because you see,
we should rather think that because more than half of them.
Now what is happening is Ghana Hano, we are not able to motivate. Yankora Dodo na very timid. Show.
Sure. Say obuade manebro so freya de bro so.
But the cost na dream no. On nyame ho
anen.
So I'm saying that because they are bold to be on the other side, no. They have a lot of influence over Omo movies. They are in their comfort zone. Elsewhere, no. Obia Unuma their class is able to influence the colleagues to believe in themselves. Sebi ono so betimi aye bibi. But ye ha no entesa sebio nia sebe nia on sheda na disu ade nko na animi ye no. Ono na ye tientian no classroom o. Ono na bibia ba ye dito ne so. Nti it builds nipa up. So the person would have capacity to handle other children who are naive in terms of whatever goes on. So their influence over them no higher than ono mumu influencer obenya wono so no. So if say 38% of them are even saying say they don't think that the country is not on the right track. The tendency of they influencing the rest to leave the country, no, very, very high.
There's a 38 ni betimi enya basis teni sunsun so.
Yes.
How?
Because of the way our environment in it here, no. You see, so akwaya there, yenche da mona baso, but nyoya boni ni etiano. And once ni akwara so de utiana kodum pempenso bia, we develop some kind of resistance be onum say ni oye resource nini. And is either I choose to do it and face the consequences, or I don't do it at all. But in society, there's almost survival. So let me do it and face the consequences. And such people. Oh yes, and Yama Sisan Kakra.
Ejamun so madaro manenye na obaya. obi say ode ne boy a wo ne boy nhwe ne tie ye fa ma na fa kokoti
oh yeah
so ene de nka enkwada timi kasa kakra
yeah.
timi chi omagina nsan kura de esua atre bi aba correct timi hwe ne papa nu ka she papa say daddy stop talking you are shouting mommy I'm just here why are you shouting I can hear you talk undertone me think kwada di bi nsem mo ka che mommy am say na kwada mo aba
but I know so anganya boni o but the way I
because tina mika se na nyama sa na wo kan tete wo ma mika sa re na mika che say
na meka
na meti ha wo ka sa
you know
but I know mommy why are you shouting I'm here talk undertone
exactly
intin kan na nyama sesa
anyama sesa ba so that is why we have to capitalize on sanyama na sesa no ne nia sesa enkoye no na yentini yankora no na omunya gidie ewo manim na I believe that
ogidie ni de so omo wow research is gidie
no oh gidie ni de wo and that is one thing that I'm so happy for say enkora no dodo na ka so mu ogidie wo manim na yetiem man penifo to me set the right agenda na yankora no from
good you have brought that up enti no mo say ye ntoto ne mayema amanfo nya adwuma nye na school nkoso na standard of living page no no mo say hwan mu na betimi aye sa ne ma miensen ya e betimi de nsesa ye no aba no
nkora no did not look at it from say bia responsibility no e wo hwa na aseme ho it's I don't mo say wo ho and it is up to us yeah research no na yes appropriate the responsibilities no but you share most of the response na nkora ne dia mana it is a collective agenda and yes e bia nipa ba ko so ultimate say awofo no so e so mo play omo role or policy makers our governance structures are here political system yeah practice
okay
and clearly no almost I said yeah because we national pride in this area and Korano say Osha full report now and Korano can say yes they are proud to be Ghanaians but sometimes they find it the environment is not conducive for them to express their pride because they now go to national anthem Korano be obedient on the phone so the environment is not conducive for Korano to express the pride now
oh Sam
inti we are saying is it's a collective agenda. Let's set agenda for Yankora no. So in the next 20 years where do you want to see Ghana? Let's give them agenda enye bibia na yebe no yebe ne kakrawa ha yen kakrawa ni yen kakrawa ha
okay
say we need to have agenda because oko baby to say America crowd we 5 years 3 years crowd unum say American first principle agenda ye di training akora no is about American first enti nyosua nyoye nyoka ne abrabo oboni nyina no onum say is American first enti that agenda we have to introduce it uko UK the omuji di say bibia wo wiase bia no e say eba ho
okay
so everything must come home that is the kind of ideology omode build the minds of Nkora no
okay
inti lensu yenya se omomodi from 30 ekone the adwena say
okay
me grade me omampenia my focus in terms of social development would only target the aged which are in the minority and then more below the age of 18 years
okay
have agenda for this group of people and then they build the human capital in between for no you build the human capital for their comfort and then the baby do say you enya fe na ba say adwen but at least something that will make us feel very comfortable no there
okay
but we need to have agenda for more below the age of it is saying 18 years no more buy into that agenda no once or more buy into that agenda in there we can say in the next 10 years 20 years or minor ebes sankakra na yetimi se so madwen na megidi se dodo na se be omutu kwan investment aye nyina no we will still it is a harvest that investment
trying to say some more findings no de mu hu wo research na chi eni mu nsusu ahodo be ma ne se enkwala no gi se ye sha ase
I say yeah omadwen because they are not they are what meaning they were making uncertainty in the minds of Nkora as to whether Oman no kwana seba.
Okay.
That kind of uncertainty no.
Baby yeah.
And you know ni ebe man no ho ato no. And not baby ohona is this a giant ko baby there?
Naso bejo no.
Exactly.
Abon didi ko baby anaso.
Abon didi ko baby anaso. That is the kind of ideas omo dream. Ena nia eha me kakra nso ne se nkora na ngasa almost the history of this country angasa no. It is distorted.
Omo nkwala no. What question did you ask them?
No,
specific question.
Yeah, Bissau asked to how whether they have the history of, they know the history of Ghana, you know, from the political history and even our socialization history and all that. And most of them attributed to the fact Abia no Musia the history from this angle. The following day it is from another angle altogether. And that is mainly based on where they are coming from. They understand the history of this country from where they are coming from. So Abia Oye Asantinia, you understand the history of Ghana from the tribe now Ufibano. So there is no converging point.
No. Omusia was school mu. And I said, ye mami mo oral tradition. Awofo
kache. Because there's a lot of Ankara. You see, Ebi Oha, and no wasn't part of this research. But there are other things that ye bisa Ankara on a daily basis.
Okay.
Say Ebia unya obeware, tribe na obeware. If you see the reasons that children are given for say Ebia obekoware or tribe here, and as a nana catch me say sangrofo we die okoware oma say ni say na baba me pese me
you sure you have done a research about that and
no, it's not a research. No, it is not a research. Okay. But because of randomly we ask them certain basic things to gauge their understanding of the environment, so that the intervention be or you be introduced and all of that. And you know, and I don't want to mention a particular tribe and I say, but I'm just giving you a fair idea of how encouraging based on our daily activities.
I see.
In the year can already should be
a question be to say ma usika 5,000 cc or the bay.
And it was just as we asked them. Because we also want to know say.
Didn't na mo bisa sa question.
Oh, say ebi o hwa ye besi ehun say children are able to manage their own affairs. Say in the next 20 years, no way can you manage your own affairs? Are you getting the foundation for that management? And to be some say, and there was just a straightforward question. Say your amount 5,000. Then are the bay. Do one of the first three no, and I can say omo the baby the same investment or the baby school, and obviously house or the back to bank and
and the number who say nkwala no.
We want to see their thinking. How so munyes ka den omo there.
Okay.
That is the brain behind it. Ebinum so the more minority no, few of them can say or do also nya the back akoware. And as a gay bia we chasing is ana nsan kanu ntino. Or the back akomano. You know, they are all in a minority.
Everyone say omo person omo ko siki greener pastures no. They almost 55%. So I was hoping on Becca so yeah, the better kind.
Oh no, they didn't express that. Almost but as to how
you see, at the end of this research, do we really get their ye person ye feel and kwala no say be me ye hu nia omo hwehwe na ya senti agenda ya okay ya.
Oh yes, we can set the agenda. And for me, niam hu research you must say one, and niam ye fi say enkora adwin ni so no. They are thinking about those things.
Okay.
And two, no children are they are looking into the future. Omoju omodachi. Baby omo abrabo bekosi.
Okay.
And if you are able to get these two things from Enkora, then that should provide us the basis to set the agenda. Say omemuha from Enkora below 18 years. Then you say yamomu in the next 20 years. Let's throw that policy agenda. Not yet start to engage on because we have left them on their own. They are thinking on their own, and nothing is dictating the pace for them as to what they should think about within the larger framework. Okay. You know, and you know that is how humanity.
Omo ka enyama omo bnya kwanya beye mpanyimfo a omo beye. Enwuma ne fighting corruption. And it's additional be peja. Now so mu key findings, top 5 things needed for Ghana to progress, you know. Say me corruption na eyo mo second ade anka mo beye na amomu de ne bedi kan wa ha na education ama wa ha.
Oh, education
ni a
for the top priorities.
Yes,
no?
the top priorities, 5 key things we need as a country to progress. Reducing corruption, reducing poverty, creating new jobs.
Yeah.
And then corruption and creating new jobs in better living standards, limiting powers of politicians.
Yes.
And so improving education and making education accessible for all of us. Because somebody can't complain about streetism.
Yeah, they've complained about as a social problem.
Good, as a social problem. In Tinanka, I was hoping to see the 5 key things to say education, but education,
Yeah, but I'll share the whole match on as well. Somehow you see, say, when some of these things are addressed, it leads to, or those things now, can also help to deal with some of these issues. But I don't know why Omo listed this as a top priorities, because I strongly believe, say,
I was hoping I would have seen it because it's beautiful you are seeing corruption here, because at their problem, when they become leaders, the thing they want to solve, and this corruption has been running through, and see,
it's true,
fighting corruption, and it was quite a huge number, 42%, and so I hadn't said the things we need to progress, and you see, reducing corruption, 66% said it, and then creating jobs was their topmost priority.
Yeah.
But when you come here, Niama Yehia see a debate to Mponwa. After na job creation, ni mama pass here cry.
Yeah, because Amujidi said when you reduce corruption, a lot of things fall in place. A lot of things fall in place. Now, we know you see, even with the analysis, there are others who talks about education, but it's not in the top 5. I list one.
And no na me one say
because Osha main report report main report as to the order of importance now listing. But as I say, presentation into we limited ourselves to the top 3, top 5.
But that's what I was hoping to see.
But report now me they are saying ultimately be who say the children are saying education is part, but it's not part of the top 5.
Yeah, Musa question yemu ni enti amasa top 5 ni mu no, because Nina Ebeboama, it's a policy maker. Who are you giving it to? Who? And I'm say to whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern. But say
and I'm research in vacuum, sir. Anyway, say about Kodasha for so now above foot.
Your policy makers especially parliamentarians would want to give them a copy of this report.
Okay.
So that or more dream for mine they would consider some of these things in their formulation. Now yenye kwenya so na say yebeshia we can dialogue and see the way forward because this is
na money so adu sense so ye
the way a enkwara edwenfa
ama hwan ye ni hu nkomo say ya na
no there's a series of programs that are running.
Okay.
But I strongly believe the businessmen of this country should take advantage of this report. I will not even limit it to Sabai. I think that what children want, or our young people want from the next 20 years is a business idea. That somebody who is a businessman begin to think of creating jobs for Nkora. Now what they are looking, especially when it comes to education, which young can want them. Nkora are looking at the relevant skills a bit in my and most of them, if you say this grammar type of education, it's what concerns them, but not so. And they are looking at technical and then IT, ICT. So it means that if the businessmen in this country begin to focus on building their skills for Nkora, majority of them will find themselves in that environment.
Why the businessman? Because your policy makers and your education curriculum ni bibiano, your businessman they develop. Businessman they what training akwala no a oba be useful for business ni mo no. No so afa no nti akwala ni here the theory aspects can answer na your be adwuma so a say ebema no akọ attachment ni ade no ya practical tina na mebisa senti research ye wie ye de ma hwan businessman don or ye de call drinks aban
de say de ma no ye twie mu tan say de ma aban and me so me wo gidie bi say o hwe advanced countries or my most of the business society they even determine the kind of programs universities in running, and they sponsor those ones. Until if you want a certain human capital for your industry, they have to invest in some of the universities to produce that kind of people for them. Now, omuntimi enye. I say anya ne sadia. Si e kase de bia aban ye de bia to aban so a sabio aban enye Ghana hankwa aban di nkrofo hwamo wo amama supi including America.
But no running system.
On the running so
for instance, to say universities any program on beya amanfo aka campaigning for ne a doctor for ne anim de for mo tu kwan o makwa in fact omo bi mu kra every university maybe a deans of students ne VCs ne ade aba be ka say programs ni bi ohono mu a omo ye ne
it's not relevant.
Obi to university or say me archaeology na no openi kwadwo kire na e say enye se mba wo university o university osua course ben osua archaeology wo Ghana ha. How relevant would that be to any panel?
Exactly.
Nti ane de omo aka but say university program so say niam obeya aban na be influence.
Of course.
And aban na be lead kwan no.
Any we can take that one.
Ni nyina afri aban so oh businessman coming. Maybe businessman would love to introduce entrepreneurship. Now so say university ni say me I don't want to run that course.
And
businessman be.
And okay. Collectively ni yenhwe na but our target will be parliament. Any opportunities we would give it to the executive.
Okay.
But the executive
you don't think that children and gender ministry, and so to me and now or because our executive because we are talking about children. It's not said they be domestic violence, be a cause education for no a collaborate.
Enokre. Nti ye behwe ye ni ministries ladies I was so peace and ye hwe na ye be fimu aba.
All right. Ma me hwe se ena de ye ka social issue eti se ye na me hwe de me manfo a me ni omudi dwuma so pese o muka. Kofi Acha say I think Greek education should be restructured in this country because it's the basis for our development. Nicholas, in a country without a common development plan, this is what happens. And then Banderas says, what if I did not learn entrepreneurship? What would it have been? Create more jobs. One area, one factory will also solve it. At least 50 people each area, crime rate will come down. Okay. Ebenezer died. We will leave. We can't stay in Ghana. The hardship is too much. Hey, I know we already a soon emoji account. George Larry says, good morning. Thank you for hosting this program. I think that it's rather better to stay in your country than to stay in another country, another man's world. If you any fear, no place like home, no matter what. And no, there is one kind of sad no one. Sonny John says, look, yeah, there may be a time the way we will suffer because those in the village are not getting what they want. Look at those in the village. What they are saying, they are not getting. No, the research is not only about the village folks; it's about the city folks too. In Pacho, it's any village phone. Daniel Kwesiado, or say, a fear with that job, is it good? And you are saying no matter what. I no can say we can say fear ni fear no, and was say baby, and ye fear ni fear. Just say uti fear na uni ejumaya, and ye na uti fear sa oh ye day. As I say uti mi sorry call ni. Now, Adeba Akonso may find it about limiting the powers of politicians.
Exactly.
Powers be no mo pese limited.
Well,
no powers be no madwin no mu nim se politicians ne wa omo ti limited no. Question be na mo bisa nkwala.
Omo link the and it was an open question.
And then saying how did you put
it? When this listing in there came out from Enquarano.
Okay.
Exactly. Listening in idea if you cry no hoba.
So question was say bibi wo ha opese ubisa na o ka kire me bisa wa na.
Enti limiting the powers.
So we ask question
no
politician.
No.
Me ni wa wie asem bisa.
Yeah, until then officer. And almost limiting the powers of politicians. Until we went further to ask. Daintia.
Okay.
And omoga say omudi abuse traffic regulation was the topmost. And I was
and after that,
yeah, so political party rallies in any idea.
The almost many I thought as kids they will be excited that their parents have brought things home.
Now call those up and now by no cranium. I don't perform magic. And I'm crying to be so public officers. And so say Akora Obiya Boniti Akora Sankrofono Bamu Ebe charge perpetrator no.
And no almost see a can kasi and say
it's a life experience. It never costs you.
You see, and say, oh no, fine, omunyam kwala 12 and 17. Yeah. But at sa age, you know, omani di discourses a hold on ye na chi sa.
Yes.
Say omutimi say and ade we koso. And I see one mantam mu brono ne so ntine mo de ka.
Esi de bia obehu ka pimpon na ese a obehu Land Cruiser in their minds no ebia politician be na a team na all saying. And you almost strongly believe say you limited their powers are ebia ebema man na ye but as to say ebe ye there so dey you limiting ebe ye there that one I can't tell but that is what the children are saying. So you should also point to us say and there may be you use a political system and so on.
Okay.
And you know, ye almost uncoding common in Bissau, say, dear near bit me the political power, a bit me a bois and quara. And ye almost that have that engagement now. Sabe, they be a mecasa who you teach any now classroom.
You see, penine nkwala nkomodie ne nkitaundie ne se o efia yetie e de na meye ma wani ka
because me say me bapeni wedi 9 years or 10 years there are certain things that me person me I sit him down na me ne di phone komo so but ebi o ho a unu say o want ase no
okay
ebi so o di mo say ni America no emu odu ntino nye na mejai.
Okay.
So now gradually no meaning so do pempen so be obeti ase. Then at that moment you be peke ni discuss it. But see fail to engage Yankora in the process. You see near you say we are leaving that space for somebody else to come and occupy because Yankora ni na interaction there it is part of their formation. In this awonya they will look at the other side.
I see.
Now omonya some information if you so if so obanye enye niti ankoyeye now you the wrong information from a wrong person. You can imagine what that person will use the information for.
And we know our for responsibility.
Our for
school.
Yeah, school. Our for school. Abai. Sabi in terms of me, who abai apart from President Kufuor. Like he had engagement with them. I've not seen any government. Sabe wa organize enkwara omundu mo di komoda ebia na birthday party be no more inviting crowds or mumra. That is not participation. That is not participation. Me carry National Theatre President Kufuor organizing enkwara eni omu di nkomo enkwara efi nkra na se yakra ya kan bi ne di enkwara ne bi bae efi nkra se ni omu be di nkomo omu wie meeting omu wie say you know akra baako give testimony say they be who papa is who say or you simple sir into no so obey no. You see, let's get close to the people. Let's begin to change a certain perception in their minds.
Okay.
But if it's in any of the national policies, we don't even enjoy views on it. And once I go to a town hall meeting, now in Penifona Babetta can your mopa sabi obi or wedi 60 years. Now brabo no boy onu baby or and so no never be take decision for Akora. Why is opinion or experience.
But
a do pepper so be so opinion no baby we do in your no. It's different from Akora there. Intinanka ti Akora there no papa now there nya papa no one what train adwen as you say or say na say what dream fa but say Janice adia ne o mo adwen mu no eno ano mo de benyi
mo bi so mo say omunya leadership position na omo church eni amanka omo betimi diaye no mo timi ebusa follow up question say na omo aye ready say omo pese omo ye leaders de eno de no krani yembisa omo say omo aye ready so omo ye leaders ana cause na me pese me hu say omo aye ready say omo ye leaders na nka omo no so dia nsa na nka omo de but how prepared are they
exactly no kre research who say the whole of Africa ba could be who is South Africa for ye and no quite no more target youth no but per many academia for needing common most of them are saying this is the first of its kind who are interviewing Kora
I
have you definitely we would have some kind of shortfalls but it opens the gate for further discussion obi say bisa questions are there any social media and also another avenue that you can monitor the thinking patterns of Nkora to see how our obetimi shape. Based on that, let's carry the discussion forward. Let's do further research on the basis of the we should open them up.
You took your initiative.
Oh, yes.
Why not fund the research?
Oh yeah, Yankasan yeah.
Monkasa na fund because yeah, things to say research on the all fund there no.
And
target.
Oh no.
Into any kind direction or the research in the befaso.
Yeah, Yankasan yeah. No international organization and I say local organization we are funded with Yankasan. There's a series of research in certain areas in terms of parent and child relationship. And no, there is purely for our policy, say child right. You use it to design the way a manner you interaction with parent and Nkora. A sanitary parts. They say I no say I don't inform me to give. They say your new programmer. You provide sanitary part for Nkora in the rural communities because you realize say about 38% of Nkora don't come to school. Because of the same this small research to be able to do that. But this one, this time you decided say we'll carry it out in all the regions. And because of the we are almost in about 12 regions of this country as organization. And we want to make sure say everybody will benefit from it.
More to me more about patriotism, how ready to send our cats American phone caller, a show American first, and
the history of Ghana is distorted into exactly. A mom who say, if you have neighbor, and say, if you have neighbor. And
but only baby a free but near child said or mine and only baby if you want to mean do mine.
Nobody will be you easy say me ufa Ghana now for America Kora. Now they want to know because say what is America? South Korea America will tell you what America is. But Ghana do only so Ghana no.
You so can say me
Obeka say me feel na me by say na mbese kwa na mbe any esin kroma any esi we should be able to tell the story of our country very well. But we are not able to. You see, everybody that played a role in the development of this country, irrespective of whether it's negative or positive, we'd have to narrate the story and be very consistent. But for some time now, no, you can't story and kroma by obey say and we buy obey say. Then we paint a particular picture to say nipa we do buy there. Sebu one may be deboned. No, we should not. I don't know, man. Say the history of this country is distorted. So, if, for instance, yes, maybe if you say, me papa be a moment, not ye painting me papa blacker. What do you think I would do? I will fight it. Well, engine I say we have say look at the role Efremamu a play in the history of this country.
Okay.
Yenara assassin was originally almost composed in the same ewe, but ewe. So accredited Yenara assassin in there is unable to trace the history
of it
for or not to appreciate, because even the Bible now there are commentaries that establishes the conditions, the atmosphere under which certain statements were made in the Bible, so that you will be appreciated the context in which certain statements were made. Now one kokana senia was open no. Intino there should be the basis for which we tell the history of this country.
Me I like that beautiful. Maybe a short force kakra questions need number ye, but I me who said the uncle dream fee. Say I 1 year day come no. Say me dey say dia and ye become me found who to said that ye become colasem no. No say Randy sheme me bag ni mu yisa we ni ma me why. Na we yi na chese ko redia na me diaba. Na nipa na obeso be take decision no na so betu ho na mama nkwala na nya ho faso no. Say enu omo ho a ene e bia momfa bi nko academia for ni ho
oh yes
na momfa bi nko kokoko because anya nkwala nkwa na dreams there are certain things about Efemamu a say ma nko Efemamu memorial lectures recently and some of them I was just so impressed. I loved it. Hey, do it was nice. Na me say me pekora music
exactly.
But me ko no me enjoy it.
You enjoy it.
Me nyi kwa me nko na me say kwa me nko no ko fa kankanya me ba.
Kankanya me
ba. Ko kasa ko no adane aboa no atidua ne se. But we ko school no later nyama say nti de omo ka chi nkwala ne wo school ene de omo ka ofie no.
Ensusie wo. Ende no.
Ti ya na confusion na draw nkwala na dwen mu. Ene odi na ade enam a nti obenyi no. Ono so wafa ne history dada wafa de
ope
mienu no keka si ani anu atu so de ebeboa no na chese ene ye nkonkwa enti mum pe ba bi esese ekọ so that emeye shelf so research na de egu shelf no so no doso
esi etu anamom se ye person man no kọ na nimu esi echi bitu anamom
efa ade up to shelf ne so no chef ne so no doso ti ado pay ye bedazi papa abizan faro pay ye ne ura bright Appiah oye executive director Emma Child Right International ene ne de nkomo de afe ene ye research efa Ghana nkwada ne sedia omuhu nyama bifa bisebisa wo mukosa ti enu no mato din se Ghana through the lens of children sedia nkwada ehu Ghana efa emfie aduonu edi anim wei sedia ne wo muhu no fie aduonu ntem se nkwada no kra wo daachi pa wo mudwen daachi wo mai kwabetwefo wo madwen ahwekan se mfie aduonu na emu nsem no enika eno na yetutututu mu a yebisebisa nkwada no bisi o de se eye Ghana fo asomdwe wo Ghana oman ni mujo obi atimi che na adwen na utimi che wadwe se obi atimi kan de opebie obi anya obi ahwe ti eno no sa na ye papa na se ye boni ti akwada no onyi no ono so obeka na adwen ne papa mu ana obeka na adwen atemdidie ene nso pa mu na sa nso ne hye ne tim ene ese sa na odi benyini kamema mi kabiti so ko school no ko join eyi a student leadership for ya ene wodi ene adi ni bugabuga because growing up no sa ene ote no ene hye ne team so se o Ghana de ye ntena ha mobra gi se utu kwan ko ye nso ye ni so ade no nyina ne so nkwada ni oman daachi nkwada ni oman daachi ti on be kwa akotena broche na daachi afre o mo se mumra na mumeye ni ye na hwa na behwe akire na me akofre wo mo aba ti eya na wa pebi na won so wa hwem ti se bi obi pese wonya bi ehwe a obenya report ni bi
the ba to your website so enti no mo Child Right International o mo download ya o mbenya but there are hard copies nso wa ha obi pa obetimi aba Child Right office o Google Child Right International location no beba
na wa ba be abegini ti nso betimi anya bi ahwe bi kra na wa bi school we proprietor na proprietress bi a nso nya copy na hwe bi a na nso ye nkwala ho adwuma bi a na emwa na so mo de bra ban so a na prof pokwa mankwa mo ne sister Biasa fomo na mo so ma hwe kwa mbefa so a
mecha prof
nkwala na dwen prof no sisi a me prof no so no why stop on say no why stop I doesn't even know where he is prof arope ba good morning one o secretary asanto a enti abusia ya akona many made that tribe said that say na watchi CMT amami beautifully black straight double drawn fefe onso betumi ayi bia ma de hia ne se obe frɛ no onko hokra but ode bebrel bebia wo bia 0200995933 0200995933 na me tadi nso e top otwa me peplon nsa no nso tetede na akwa ase aba no puff sleeve fefe pa na wa makuyaskis apambi amount Kuyaskis wo IG Instagram sign wo Facebook wo hwehwe no studio or ACP Estate Junction or Accra ha wo be friend 0208364729 0208364729 na also be pam anything African way wo de kwa sorry wo de kwa yi wo de kwa adwuma mpo corporate one nyina no Kuyaskis ebe pambia ma nda wo mo ase papa anopa mini ku na da wasese na wotwemu nyina one yen atena na yenya wo kai say china critical issues wo anopa na Women's United Showbiz ebe wo ho bosome na wieye enti high life papa a ojumtuni kwabna ede bebrem enti ya na no so wɔahyia Mac Brown ne abihwɛkuo no na UTV deɛ it's always all about you yakra